I believe that geometry is the art of continual renewal. That's what I would call it. Traditional geometry and all these things is constantly renewed by every person who does it. The truth of the matter is this is the most important instrument that was ever invented, the most important scientific instrument that was ever invented. They're called dividers, they're sometimes called compasses, and they're used for geometry. This is a later version of the same thing. This is quite a crude pair, but nevertheless can be made to use. This is a Victorian pair of dividers, and every single part of this instrument has a symbolic meaning. This top part here, which you can see is made of two different metals, and those two different metals are two circles. This is the eye of God. This is God here. When you hold it, if you're in the right frame of mind, you are in a very privileged position. One of the legs that goes down, that is the leg which goes down to the surface on which you're going to work. That is a direct emanation from God to creation. Creation is what you're going to do on your piece of paper or on your surface. And this leg here is the one of variation. This one can make little circles or large circles, whatever. This one will deviate from the ontological, this is called the ontological axis to the surface on which you're going to work. And then you have a hand which usually you have to have 3 fingers to hold this top piece, but you can do it with 2, and then you spin the dividers until you feel confident, and then you bring that to touch the surface. Each of these patterns which become Islamic are based on triangle, square, pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, and enneagon. They become Islamic by, this is known as the barzakh. This is the balancing point between the two extremes of that triangle. That balancing point has a form which goes above and a form which goes below at exactly the halfway. So at the halfway point of every geometric regular polygon, by crossing it like this, you create what the Muslims created these patterns, which became quite specifically Islamic art. This is the impression you get from the street moving towards the mosque, and they found a nice site in Cambridge, very good site, and Emma Clark designed the gardens, which was very nice. Emma being an ex-student of mine, I'm very proud of her. And David had this lovely idea of having the arches, which are normally made of masonry, in timber. So I hope I had some influence on the use of the octagon.
I can see that.
And octagons within octagons. And all the little details within here, the windows and the details that go in there, has been my input in terms of the geometry. And the mihrab as well, which is rather important. So I've enjoyed collaborating with David. It's been very good, and happy to be making this film too. If you want to talk about richness, being approved of is the greatest richness you can have. If eventually you're approved of by God, even better.
What greater approval is there, I guess? That's fascinating.
One mustn't make presumptions about God.
I totally agree.
As St. Augustine was very good, he said, those who talk about God couldn't be.